Hello, Leo. Welcome to your May 2025 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found alchemy. Okay, let's get started right away. These particular cards were not shuffled. I don't know if you sat and watched everything, but the reason why these were out is because we pulled these from your spring reading, as I promised from that reading. I don't know if you've listened to it. It's a brief summary of your spring. I recommend it, but I'll go over this really quick in a summary type way so you're not completely lost if you haven't. You do have some sort of spark and renewal here on the table, which is a good thing. Sometimes sparks and renewals come with baggage attached to them, lessons that we need to learn. I don't want to completely disrupt this. Let me see if I can find my pointer. Here it is. Okay. So over here, we have the Fool, what's called the Fooless. It's the female version of the Fool from this very big deck that I used to pull these cards. And we do have the male version and the female version. And it's not quite, it has really nothing to do with sex. It has more to do with, there's slight differences. The same general meaning, right? The female version of the Fool, it does mean moving forward, but it's moving forward with the knowledge of the past that holds keys, lessons. So you've learned something, right? She has a skull in her hand. Maybe something has died. Maybe a certain part of the way you think about something has died. But it is moving forward on a new path. It could represent sudden change. It is Uranus energy. As we know, Uranus energy is Aquarius, right? Yeah. So with that in mind, let's look at your other cards here. You do have... well, we have to pull this first. You do have the Seven of Pentacles coming in reverse. And the Seven of Pentacles here is Saturn and Taurus energy. You may be tired of waiting for something here, Leo. There may be something you were waiting for. Maybe something you had high hopes about. Maybe it's a lesson learned here. You do move forward with some sort of renewal, some spark. Perhaps this is a disappointment. But you do also have the Nine of Wands coming in sideways, Moon in Sagittarius. Now, being that it's coming in sideways, it is a choice. And it's a choice whether it's a still standing card when it's upright, but should you continue stubbornly holding out for something, waiting for something? It is the wounded warrior. If you look at the picture on the card, if you look at the depiction, this person has been through a lot of crap, right? Wounded, but he's still standing. Perhaps he's still waiting for what he was, or perhaps his reward. He's waiting for something. It's coming in sideways. It's a decision you're going to have to make. Do I continue to wait? Do I continue to hold strong in this situation? The advice here was Virgo, was the Hermit. And you have the Hermit here, and it is going inward, right? Interestingly enough, the Hermit does carry the Star of Aquarius in his lantern. So that's interesting too, because you pulled two Aquarian cards. But you could have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart. And if you do, I think Spirit is trying to tell you to lean on that. You could have an Aquarius in your life. I mean, it could just literally represent that Uranus energy, that change. But in order for you to reap the rewards of this spark and this change, you need to go inward and really tear apart what really happened. What lessons have you learned here? For sure. You have two number 9s, with the Nine of Wands and the Hermit. And it's, when you pull two number 9s, it means you are almost done. You're not quite finished with a situation. You're not quite finished. You're not moving on from something. You're not leveling up just yet, but you're almost there. The number 9, number 10 is where you do it. And number 9 is you're almost there. Almost, but not quite. Interesting energy. Okay. Now, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Neptune energy, Pisces energy, confusion, things not being entirely clear, and that's okay. All right. You also have two number 7s when we count the Neptune energy along with the 7 of Pentacles. And when you pull two number 7s, it is the need to make a choice. It is the need to make more than one choice. And that card coming in sideways is obviously a choice you have to make. So this month will be filled with choices, personal choices, things you have to go inward to really soul search about. Okay, now that we've done that, let's look at your oracles. We'll start here. I'm pretty sure you've pulled this card before. It's called the Earth's Heart. And the Earth's heart is number 52 in this deck. There is something blossoming underneath everything. You may be in a confusing time. You may be in a difficult time, but there is something buried underneath that. But it does require your attention. This also could represent some sort of magnetic pull that you're going to experience this month. Now, you pulled a card that's very interesting. It's within a group of cards that can be read in reverse or upright. It's called, let me see if I can pronounce this, Aletheia. Aletheia, okay? Now, I actually had to stop and go back to make sure which side it ended. When I realized it was also read in reverse, I had to go back to make sure that I pulled this correctly. You can see it during the shuffle that the dark portion did come out. So this card could be read dark or light. You obviously got the darker side. And it is number 77 in this deck, and it does represent, this card represents truth, plain and simple. But when it's dark, this is a dark truth. And it's a distortion, it's gaslighting, it's excuses, truth is elusive. There's something not right. Something you're hearing, seeing, I think you know. If you don't know right now, I think you will. But there is a truth, a sort of manipulation, a manipulation of the truth. You did pull the dark side there. Now you also have the Hanged Man. I'm not going to pick this up. It's way big enough for you to see it. It is the Hanged Man. It's more Piscean energy, right? Seeing something from a new perspective. There's something that you're seeing in a new light. Is it comfortable? I don't know. He doesn't look particularly comfortable, but he definitely looks enlightened, right? You pulled Aries, and Aries is number 1 in this deck. Now, Aries is your fellow fire sign. There's a lot going on in May for Aries. On May 2nd, you have Venus in Aries conjunct Neptune in Aries. Passion, romance. Plan a date that day, right? A romantic interlude, a date will go very well. On May 5th, you have Mercury in Aries sextile Jupiter in Gemini. Your communication skills are boosted that day. So use this energy for anything that requires that, okay? On May 6th, you have Venus in Aries sextile Pluto in Aquarius. It's a manifestation day. So if you have anything that you are planning to try to manifest and that date works within your plan, definitely keep it under your hat. On May 15th, you have the asteroid Sirius enters Aries. And that internal warrior is awakened. And you could face any lingering fears you may have towards something. You could be able to face an opponent, face someone in an argument. It's a very good day for that. On May 22nd, Venus in Aries trine Mars in Leo. Seek out your perfect match that day, or you could reignite some passion within an existing relationship. The planets are all lined up for that. On May 24th, you have Saturn that enters Aries, and it will be there for the next few months. And you have what it takes for life-changing energy, the courage to actually implement it. It's a really good energy for you here, Leo. On May 25th, you have Mercury in Gemini sextile Saturn in Aries. A good day for sharing your thoughts. Definitely getting your point across. That's a good day for getting your point across. May 26th, you have Mercury in Gemini sextile Neptune in Aries. Creative energy abounds that day for any project you need creative energy for. You have these two cards. You have Moon Void, of course, disconnect, withdrawal. There may be something you are disconnecting from, maybe something you are withdrawing from. This could also mean that you were on a course that doesn't fit your new self. The old course has changed. You have Libra, diplomatic, harmony, and balance. That's what you're seeking. And I know you've gotten a lot of Libran energy in your past readings, those scales of justice. Maybe this is a legal situation, or maybe this is a situation where there was an injustice done. But the scales of justice are balancing out, and somehow you're involved in this here. Let's look at your charms. You have a lot of letters. You have M, you have G, you have N as in Nancy, you have Q, and you have Z. Any of these letters could mean something. It could be, you know, someone's initials. It could be, like I always say, it could be a street name, could be an airport, could be a restaurant, could be, you know, a building, anything like that. It's going to mean something. One of those letters or all of those letters are going to mean something to you if they don't mean something to you now. You also have blue lace agate that's been polished here. And this is stress. It's mental stress, right? So you may find yourself that way. You have once upon a time, and this is a fairy tale. This is something that you told yourself about a situation that may not be turning out to be true. Could be a job, could be a person, you know, a friend, a lover, a family member. It's a once upon a time, I felt a certain way about the situation, and now I'm waking up. There's something that you're waking up from with this truth card coming out like that. I really like those cards that there's a whole chapter in the book with a few of these cards, and I really like when those cards are pulled. I find that they're very, very accurate. Now, you pulled quite a few cards here. Let's look at this. You have these are cards that somebody may be thinking that they're not sharing with you, or there may be something going on that you're not aware of as of yet. You do have welcome and career, right? I like that. So this is for any goals. Welcome. I want you to know your presence is appreciated and I can be a safe space for you. This may be someone in your life that is very safe to be around, that is truthful, that isn't this energy here. You have career. It says, I'm concentrating on my career and focused on advancing no matter what it takes. This could be your new attitude, right? Actually, this could be you. Maybe you're not saying that, but maybe that's how you feel. Or maybe that's how you will feel. Maybe you feel that's the key to something here. You have these two cards. You have mystery, and it says unknown puzzle, illusion, confusion. Remember the Neptune energy we discussed, right? Yes, there is a mystery you're uncovering. And I think that at the very least, I think it's a disappointment. But you do have mirror, reflection, reference, distinguish, and appearance. You are looking in the mirror. And I think we talked about that in your spring reading. Whatever goes on around you here, Leo, with the people and the players in your life, that's one thing. The way you react to it, maybe the way you've reacted to it in the past as opposed to now, should be different. You need to look to yourself for solutions on this thing, more than the people around you. Because once someone shows you who they are, you believe it. I don't always take that advice. I get very pulled, right, to believe, and I have a lot of Pisces in my chart, that Neptune energy. I get very pulled to believe, you know, different things. I think that you're starting to see things very clearly, but it's a struggle. You have this. This is interesting. You have like a relationship, right? And if you notice, there are two people kissing, and one of the people is fully present, and the other one looks like it's being pulled, right? Look at this. Look at this. You have someone that's sort of being pulled away from that embrace, right? So is there something pulling you away from something? A relationship could be. Here's your money. Here's your money. And your goals, right? We talked about that over here. I am concentrating on my career and I'm focused on advancing no matter what it takes, because it seems to be the key to many, many things in this reading. And you have here the nebula. And I know for a fact, let me see if I could pull. I hate picking. I'm not going to pick this up because it's such a pain in the neck. But you have the nebula here, and this nebula has come out in your readings before, where you have to break through this crust in order to get to the light, get to the good stuff, come out of the darkness and see something. Maybe you found yourself on the outside and you have broken into the middle. Maybe you're about to break into the middle, but there's something that's going to be revealed, right? A truth that is going to be revealed to you because you're looking at things from a different perspective now. Void of course, right? Pulling away from something balancing out with those Libra scales. You're looking to yourself, right? This could have honestly something to do with a relationship because its relationship is on the table. But when we see the gold mask, which is depicted in this picture, that is more goal oriented. I think you're starting to see that no matter what this is about, you need to start going after your goals, and your goals that will solve many things in the situation. Okay. Let's look at your tarot. You have 3 legs here. And like I've been telling everybody lately, because I think everyone needs to hear it, these 3 legs could come in order. or they can come out of order, right? It's not a science and it's going to be different for each Leo. So your last leg could come in first, blah, blah, blah. All right. So keep that under your hat when you, especially when you listen to general readings. It's just that way. You do have control tactics here. There is someone that's trying to control you, right? There is someone that is trying to use control tactics on you. It's very obvious with this card. Very obvious with this card. You have, I mean, if you look at it, that is such an uncomfortable thing, right? It looks like female energy. It doesn't have to be female energy, but it looks that way. You also have coming in first, you have the World in reverse. And we talked about the fact that you had 2 9s, that you were almost done, but not quite, right? And this card pretty much says the same thing. You're almost there. You're almost at a point where you're completing a cycle, where you're moving on to something else. It's Jupiter energy, it's fixed energy, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. You're almost there, but you're not quite there. You have the 8 of Swords in reverse coming in. The 8 of Swords is Jupiter and Gemini energy, especially in this deck. And the whole idea of the 8 of Swords is being stuck, but being stuck in our own, it's almost a prison of our own making. We're wearing a blindfold. At any moment, we could take that blindfold off, but many of us choose to keep it on because we don't want to know, right? We're bound. We feel stuck. But this is coming in reverse. I do think you're starting to see something. I do think you took the blindfold off and you're seeing something here. You do have the Queen of Pentacles coming in next. The Queen of Pentacles is Saturn and Capricorn energy. And as I have said in many readings, the Queen, the difference between the King and the Queen, the King is the logic-minded implementation of things that will have long-lasting value, and the Queen is when you're in the creative parts of that. You're trying to create that which the King will thrive on. And so that is the female version of it, and it doesn't have anything to do with sex. It has to do with creation. So it is a creative energy. We add this up and we break it down, right? And that creative energy is for abundance of some kind, right? We have abundance coming out over and over again, you know? When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 11, which is a cardinal number, and it is a bridging number. Like I always say, it's a bridge from one part of your life to another, or one aspect of yourself to a brand new one. And it also, the number of 11 is 2 things coming together to create one thing. So take that for what it's worth. Let's move on to your second leg. Here we have the King of, well, let's start out with this. You have nurture, compassion. Right? There could be something that you are nurturing. It does look very relationship oriented. It could be something within yourself too. But it is something that you're feeling, and you're feeling nurturing towards. You're feeling like you want to nurture it. You want to take care of it. You have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is Sun in Pisces. It could be Sun in Scorpio as well, right? But it is love. It is that nurturing energy. It is nurturing energy. It's calm, it's balanced, it's wisdom. You're stepping into that energy. And I do think that you're stepping into it towards someone, towards a situation here, Leo. The center card, which I always say the card that it's honestly the most important card of the reading. You have the 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful energy, right? Mercury and Virgo energy as your center card. And your center card, it's a solid foundation, right? For future being formed here. Security. It is a great center card, especially when we involve all these other cards. That's what you want. You want something that is going to be long lasting. You want a good foundation. You want to feel secure within this situation. And that is definitely what you're doing. That is what you're moving towards. I think that you are digging your heels in, and you're really starting to see what you need to do by looking in that mirror, what you need to do, right? Let's see. Straighten that out a little bit. You have, sorry, I'm just like anal retentive with these cards. You have the 10 of Swords, another 10. The 10 of Swords coming in sideways. Wow. So the 10 of Swords is Sun and Gemini energy. Someone stabbed you in the back here. Someone has definitely stabbed you in the back with these 2 cards. And this coming in sideways is a decision that you're going to have to make as to whether to put this behind you or just accept that this source, this person is, or hold on to it. It's almost like do I hold on to this anger and this, I'm not happy, or do I let it go? It's going to be different for all of you because it is coming in sideways. When we add this up and we break it down, we get moon, Cancer energy, right? A pull towards something. We talked about you experiencing a pull, right? Or perhaps not everything is clear under the light of the moon, right? You may not know exactly what to do, at least initially. You may not know exactly what to do. Being that you have two number 10s, right? You go from the world in reverse. You're this close to a completion to this. It's like the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords. Sorry about that, Leo. There was like a glitch with my equipment, so I had to go and take care of that and come back. I'll get back on track now. You do have, in your last leg, you have the family card, right? It says family, home, commitment. This could obviously have something to do with your family. This could have something to do with a home that you have, or it could have something to do with a commitment that you've made, either with your job, with a person, with a friendship, or with your family. You know, you could have had a solid commitment or a solid way of looking at something that obviously is changing. Let's pull up all these cards and take them one at a time. You do have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Where did we see that, Leo? We saw the same exact card in reverse in your spring reading. So this card is Saturn and Taurus, and you have stopped working on something. You have stopped waiting for something. There was something that you were hopeful about that you are no longer feeling that way about. You have the Wheel of Fortune coming in next, and this is also in reverse. This is Jupiter energy. Fixed Jupiter energy. Fixed is, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio energy. Changing directions. No longer feeling optimistic about a certain situation, no longer working on it, no longer taking part in it. Has something to do with your family. For many of you, it has something to do with a commitment. For many of you, you have these two cards that came out together. You have the 7 of Swords and you have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the 7 of Swords, you can look that up on the internet. The 7 of Swords sort of encompasses everything we said here. Lies, deceit, manipulation, gaslighting, just the same exact energy. I mean, it just is. And this comes out coupled with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The 5 of Pentacles is Mercury and Taurus energy. Now, upright, the 5 of Pentacles can feel like abandonment, being left out in the cold, just huge disappointment by someone. It could be money problems as well. But this is coming in reverse. And this is you snapping out of that way of thinking. Maybe you're not hopeful anymore. And it's almost a release. You're like, okay, I'm not working on that anymore. I'm not waiting for that anymore. I'm not feeling butthurt about it anymore. I'm just moving on. And it's right next to the 7 of Swords energy. And the 7 of Swords obviously brings with it, there's some sort of manipulation that you have uncovered, some sort of lies that you have uncovered, something that does not sit well with you. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 11 again. You are forming a bridge from one way of thinking to another, one part of your life to another, and two things are coming together to create one. You also have two number 7s again. And what did we say about that? The need for decisive choices. You're going to have to make some difficult choices this month, Leo. Now, we look at your challenges. We have, there is going to be a challenge. You're going to have abundance. There may be something you are celebrating this month, but it might be overshadowed by other things. And your challenge is going to be to see the joy for what it is and separate it from the bullshit. Or it could be that there is something trying to dwarf your abundance. I mean, this situation, you will maybe have messages in your dreams. If you're the type of human being to remember your dreams and receive messages from them, then this is a definite sign. This also could mean that your dreams are here on the table. They're still there, and it may be challenging to really decipher them and hang on to them at certain points this month. But challenge does not mean anything except a challenge. You do have judgment, and this is Pluto Scorpio energy. This is assessing something and seeing it for what it is, judging it. You're like, that's it. I see it, The next card is the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant is exactly what I said here with the family card. It is something you were once very committed to. It is coming in reverse, right? Leaving a commitment that you once found very important. You have the 2 of Pentacles, Jupiter and Capricorn energy. You could at some point this month be of two minds. You could be split between two things, trying to juggle two things. It's going to be challenging to do that. I think decisive choices are going to save you from that. Excuse me. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy, Aries energy, right? Same energy we saw up here. That Martian energy it could mean many things. It could mean passion. It could mean confidence. But I think in this reading, it means anger. I don't think you're happy. There is something that is tweaking your anger a little bit. We have two number twos here, which is the duality, right? The choices that need to be made. It does fit together here with the rest of your reading, Leo. And when we finally look at your opportunities, you're going to have the opportunity to feel and see something for it's that King of Cups energy, right? The opportunity to be very balanced and fair and love what needs to be loved and sort of cut out what needs to be cut out. It is an emotional time, but it is a good time, right? This is your opportunities column. Don't forget. Your first is, I like this. This is the 5 of Wands. And as you can see, this is a card of conflict, right? Coming in reverse, the conflict, you have the opportunity to end this conflict. Now, the conflict could be external or it could be internal. With that 2 of Pentacles energy, it wouldn't surprise me if you have some internal conflict, right? This is an opportunity to eradicate that. You have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, Venus and Virgo, standing in an independent, confident energy. Maybe away from the pack, maybe away from a hive mind type way of thinking. And you have, last but not least, the Death card, which is Scorpio energy, the death of one thing, the birth of a new thing. Yeah, I see that all over this reading. It's an opportunity, Leo. Now, hopefully you take the opportunity and you make your decisive action and you do what needs to be done. You could be stuck in this if you don't. So obviously my advice is to go forth and do what you need to do. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy again. So that anger is an opportunity for change. Maybe that anger serves you. Maybe that anger is lighting a fire under your ass in some way. It certainly seems that way to me with all this Aries energy in your reading. Okay, so let's do this. I'm having nothing but problems with my equipment, but I do think I'm at the tail end of a Mercury retrograde. So there you go, Leo. You're the lucky one. All right, let's see. Let's close this out for Leo. For Leo, please. We have 1, 2, 1, 2. I am focused. It does say, stay focused on your best possible future and remain optimistic throughout the entire journey. Your angels are right behind you as you turn your dreams into a reality. Excuse me, I am focused. So when we add all the numbers up in your reading, it does pay to mention the 1, 2, 1, 2 is, it's kind of a special number. It signifies a message from the universe to be attentive, right? Embrace new beginnings, find balance in your life, all the things we talked about in this reading. And if you don't believe me, look up numerology 1, 2, 1, 2. You would be shocked. It really does encompass everything we said in this reading. Also, look for this number throughout the month of May. You may see it on your phone. You may see it somewhere. And that will give you even more of an omen that things are coming together. But it is time to be attentive and really see something and make some decisive decisions. We add all the numbers up and we break it down. We do get the moon energy again. And that is feeling a pull to do something, maybe feeling a pull from a source that wants to control you. Could be. The moon is also a confusing time, kind of like Neptunian energy, right? Where things aren't always clear, but you're not going to feel that throughout the month of May. It's just going to be moments where you feel that way. Definitely there's a lunar aspect to this reading. Now, when we look at the numbers that we mentioned the most, the number one number was the number 7, which was Neptune Pisces energy, right? You can be feeling disillusioned by something that's going on, something that you uncover. Number 2, the second in place there was that Mars Aries energy, that anger that sort of works in your favor. Your lucky numbers are 7, 14, 12, 1, 9, and 10. as far as direct planets go, the planet we spoke about the most was Saturn, and that is the Lord of karma, lessons. So you are learning some tough lessons about something, right? That's Capricorn, Aquarius energy. The second place, we did have Jupiter energy, so things are expanding. When I say second place, I mean a very close second place, right? The signs that we talked about the most were Sagittarius, Libra, Cancer, Pisces, Capricorn, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Aries, Scorpio, Virgo, and of course, Leo. The signs that came up the most were Scorpio and Taurus. Pluto, you know, a death and rebirth energy, and Venus, which could be your love life and or your goals, right? The very close second was Aquarius, Uranus, Saturn energy. So you have Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio heavily on the table here. Yeah, you have a lot going on. I'm going to do something for you I haven't done. Hold on one second. I had to go and get my my pad here. I'm going to write down these. Usually at the end of a reading, we have numerology that comes together to expose one, maybe two or three planets, but you have so many planets here. I think that it pays to go over this again because the planets themselves can give us a new message. So you have Mars, and the Mars would be that anger that is actually doing you some sort of a favor. You have Neptune, and Neptune can be disillusionment on some level, right? It could be that someone's trying to, I mean, honestly, it's illusions and disillusions, all right? You have Moon, and this could be a pull or some confusion for at least part of the month. You have Saturn. I mean, usually there is never this many planets. That's why I'm doing this for you. You have Saturn, which is I'm going to just shorten it to lessons. You have Jupiter, which is expansion. You have Pluto, which is death and rebirth. You have Venus, which is love and or money. And then finally you have Uranus, which is change. Now, all of this makes perfect sense, right? You do have Mars, and that's your anger working for you. Understand what you're angry about this month and really look at it and say, okay, this is pointing me in a direction. Neptune, you're being something is definitely lost its luster. You have the Moon, which could be, a pull or confusion. And that's okay. You have Saturn, you're learning lessons. You're learning these lessons for this Jupiter energy, which is the expansion that's on the table. And you have that death and rebirth that came up over and over again, along with Venus energy, right? Could be love, could be money, could be both. One could depend on the other. One could be, they could go hand in hand somehow. And then you have that Uranus energy, which is change. Yeah, obvious change on the table, okay? I wish you all the luck, Leo. Let me know how this applies to you as your month unfolds. Namaste.